I can feel like 80 rats in my Marys. Me and Drizzy back to back is getting scary. If you fucking with my eyes, just don't come near me. Put some bins all on your head like Justin Terry.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life.
Alright, the Faison View podcast, man. Let's go. Episode 193, man. The finals. Let me turn this down. You already know. It's time, guys. It's time. I got a very special guest with me, man. One of my best friends, one of my homies, my boys, and you know, he's not a friend of the show. There's family to the show. You already know. So my boy Hugh.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling? It's been a while since I've been on here. Feels good to be back. Supporting my guy.
Already, and you know we supporting him as well. Before I get anything started, before I talk about the topics, before I talk about anything, I want my boy to really delve in and talk about his brand and what's going on. You see we repping right now, this game shift. Hey, it's the next coming thing. It's the future. And we just really building brands that are really going to have longevity in the game. So definitely telling you about your brand, man.
All right, so Game Shift is a video game development company. You know, I mean, in a nutshell, we make video games. And so my whole goal is not just to be the next black-owned studio, but just to be the next new studio in general. I want to make AAA games. For those that don't know, those are the big blockbuster games that have a lot of budget behind them. Games like Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed. The big time games that most people play every year, 2K, and that's my whole goal and my passion behind this, man. So we got our first game we're working on right now. It's called Check Up Top. You can follow us at We Are Game Shift on Instagram. Games could be coming out sometime next year, and that's what we got going on right now, man. More information soon.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, brother. Hey, please make sure you go follow, make sure you go support. Hey, it's going to be below. The link will be below, and his Instagram will be below. So make sure you support.
We're selling these hats, too. These hats are for sale. If you want them, got them for sale. Just DM the Instagram at $30 a piece. Then we got the black ones. We have the alternate black ones that he's got on. And we got blue and white as well.
So, yes, definitely make sure you get that. And also, with that being said, just like I always introduce the podcast, make sure you go follow the Color Power. Handcrafted jewelry, bracelets, anklets, waist beads. We doing it big, man. I'm really building my own new collection now. I'm just waiting for orders to come in. But we doing it big, man. You see, black ownership, man, entrepreneurship. Man. We really just supporting each other, and we really just trying to elevate in the game, man. Right? It's for the taking. It's for us to take right now. So definitely make sure you go get that. And man, hey, we about to have a good podcast, man. We about to really talk. Hey. Real good topics. So first and foremost, man, for Kobe, man, rest in peace to the GOAT, man, Kobe. Lakers, they win the finals, and we're gonna talk about LeBron's place in history and where do you rank him. Secondly, we're gonna talk about should everyone have the right to bear arms, or is that uncalled for? So thirdly, something that me and him was really going back and forth about, but it's a real good conversation, real good talk, and it's a good question. Which artist mastered autotune and who did it best? And lastly, one, on a first date, would you rather find out your date hates something that you like? I'm talking about the thing that not even like, something that you absolutely love and they hate it. Or would you want to find out that your date cheated in their past relationship? So I feel like that's a real tough one. It's a good one. That's tough one because, hey, I don't know.
My body's actually still clicking on that one. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, man.
So definitely, man. Let's get right into it. Man, we're going to do it for Kobe, man. Rest in peace to the GOAT, man. I mean, my GOAT per se. I don't want to just say everybody's GOAT. But just the impact he had on NBA, the impact he had on life. He's a global brand like himself. Kobe Bryant he will never be forgotten. It still hurts that he is not here. But hey, you know, no matter what I feel about LeBron, hey, I don't hate LeBron or anything like that. I just feel like if you're a Kobe fan, you're one less than the other. You know how that goes. But LeBron, he did it, man. He did it. They ended up beating the Heat 4-2. The Heat fought. I really respect the Heat for even being there. They weren't even supposed to be there. his team was supposed to actually be there, the Celtics. But you know, things happen. He can't be too mad because even though I'm a Washingtonian, I wanted the Clippers to win. You see how that went. So you just don't know. The bubble was troublesome for a lot of teams. So man, Hugh, I got a question for you. So where do you rank LeBron in?
I got LeBron third all the time, right behind Kobe.
Right behind Kobe, and you gotta say who else?
Oh, Jordan. Jordan number one for me.
So mine is the same as his. Me and him, we kind of had the same views on this. So I'm gonna try not to be biased. Both of us are gonna try not to be biased. But I'm really gonna give a lot of credit to LeBron. You know, that's not one of my favorite players, but he does enter the top 3 to me too. And I say this: if he wins one more, I feel like it is that time to talk about if he's the GOAT for real. Because I understand that the GOAT talk now, but I feel like just what really separates Kobe and Jordan, what we always say, but people don't understand when it's in sports, not just in football, in competition. At the end of the day, if Hugh has the mentality of winning, in which that's not saying LeBron does, but that he wants to win so bad, he's not going to let anybody else touch the ball or do anything else because it's going to have to come through him. And with me, say if I'm, a facilitator, which LeBron is, he does this, does that, and got triple doubles, it's like at the end, it doesn't really matter because LeBron has had triple doubles, great stats, and has lost in the finals.
Yeah, and Kobe's already said that style of play doesn't win championships. One player dominating the floor in that asset doesn't win championships. That a person scoring the most points, getting all the rebounds, and passing the ball the most, you're not going to win chips like that. That's why basketball's a team sport. It's good to see on an individual level, but a lot of people that have a lot of triple doubles, they're not big winners.
Mm-hmm. And just to your point, bro, it's crazy that you say that because the recent MVPs of the league, they had those type of stats. The Westbrook and your Hardens. The perfect example, but they don't even talk about that. I know LeBron he's out of the space because at the end of the day, he is still the best player in the world. You can't even, it's not even debatable. Yeah. But also, they don't really talk about LeBron in their light, how they talk about Harden and Westbrook. Exactly. Because even though that LeBron has got there, they don't speak on the fact that, yes, he does a lot for his team, but also it can be a ripple effect to it. And that's how we seen the Kyrie thing happen and things like that. But no matter what, it's like it's not taken away from his greatness because LeBron is great. He makes his teammates great. He is bar none the top 3 overall in general, and he's honestly he's heading to number 1. And that's hard for me to even say because I love Kobe and Jordan so much. But we got to call a spade a spade. It's not been a player who's been the top 5 steals, assists, rebounds, points. It's never been a player to do that, and he's in year 17. And the only player that actually played to this level at year 17, not even this level, but was Kareem, the closest. So, you just got to take your hat off to him and all praise. And I feel like also you got to give praise to the veterans, one of his favorite players too, Rondo. It was not for him. They don't get there. For AD, they don't get there. It's a team effort. I'm glad that they had enough experience to really get through. They really did.
You gotta tip your hat to LeBron and what he's done. I think the reason the reason to hate LeBron is not because of him. Like if you like basketball, I don't know how you can hate LeBron. And as a person, I definitely don't see how you can hate LeBron. Yeah. He's such a great guy. Yeah, you can't. So many different things. I think it's LeBron fans. LeBron fans are a little annoying. They do a lot. They do the most. They make up these arguments that just are so flawed and so biased that you wanna stick it to them so bad that you have to root against him by default. That's the only thing you can do. So I think that's where a lot of the LeBron hate comes from. Because as a player, LeBron is great. He's done a lot of great things. For him to have the spotlight he's had on him for so many years and to play at the level that he's been playing at. And, the one thing that he's done that Kobe and Mike haven't done, because when you're at the top, people always like to try to bring you down and try to find things about you that you like, just to bring you down. And so with Mike, they had to kind of create these things. They had to create the gambling narrative. They had to create oh, well, that's the reason why his dad died thing
Right.
and stuff like that. Well, Kobe legit messed up.
Yeah, he did.
So
Actually.
that kind of helped mess this thing up. But the thing about LeBron is, man, LeBron has not even been in a sliver of trouble in 17 years.
Absolutely.
And he's not a perfect human being, but for him to be under the microscope that he's been under, and I'm not saying that's not easy to do. I mean, if you're a decent guy, you're a decent guy. But sometimes when you're in those situations, people will create those things. Mm-hmm. People will create those narratives like they did with Jordan. And so for him to have been able to be in the league as long as he's been in, and to not be in that position says a lot about him. So that's why I feel like I don't know how you can hate him, because it's like he's not a bad guy. What has he done?
And also it speaks even more to his greatness, because to your point in what you're saying, he has been the most, and I can honestly say that's what you're saying is facts, because he has been the most criticized superstar we've ever seen in any sport. But I'm talking about in any sport. He's been the most criticized. If LeBron loses a game, we're going to talk about it and decipher it for a week or weeks.
That's true.
You know, so I understand what he was saying, because with all this criticism, he's yet to really fail. I mean, because if honestly, we're talking about the finals, we're talking about like the end goal, but at the end of the day, he got there. He got there more than a lot of people that teams can't even say they got there as many times.
Yeah, that's where I drop off in the argument.
But I understand what you're saying. But I'm saying, if you want to be real, he really has overcome and took all the criticism and really shut a lot of people up.
Yeah, because there were moments in time when we were in high school. Remember, people were saying KD was going to win for LeBron. LeBron never going to win. And so he's got 4 now. Right. So yeah, he shut a lot of people up. There was a time people didn't think he was ever going to get over the hump.
And it's crazy because time changed so fast, because a decade was 2010, and we came into this decade and LeBron wasn't a champion.
LeBron was not a champion.
And now at the peak of the new decade, he's a 4-time champion. You got to tip your hat off and just give respect when it's due, and definitely shout out to AD. So man, on to the next topic, man. Shout out to the Lakers and Kobe. But on to the next topic. And this is a very interesting topic. I'm throwing a left curveball at my brother right now, because it's just random. But I was just really thinking about it, honestly, heavy on my heart, because all this stuff is going on. So should everyone have the right to bear arms, or is that uncalled for? What do you think?
Honestly, man, at one point, I mean, I'm kind of vexed now, because after you look at the whole Kenosha situation, it's like, yo, it's no excuse for a 17-year-old to have an AR-15, man.
Absolutely.
And to be able to walk by cops and kill and shoot 3 people and kill 2.
Absolutely.
That's ridiculous. But then you also think about, people should have the right to defend their homes, but sometimes that causes more harm than good. I think given the recent events, I don't think just anybody should have the right to bear arms.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't think, I feel like there's too much, or either that, or people, including the police, need to go through more training. It should be some years and years of training and experience that needs to come with that.
Correct. Because
right now it's too much. A 17-year-old should not have an AR-15. There's no reason for it. Like I don't care what. I don't care if you live, unless you live in like one of those areas where you have to hunt for your food. Unless you live in like one of those places, which in 2020 I don't think anybody does. You can go to the market and get your food. You don't need to shoot your food, at least not in America.
Right.
You don't need to shoot your food anymore.
Nah, that's not true. You got down south. So
that's all right. So unless you live in like one of those areas where you have to shoot your food, I don't see why a 17-year-old needs an AR-15. Not even a handgun. He had an AR-15. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Look what he did with that. So like after that, I'm just like, man, you either need to be a former soldier or an officer to have a gun. And even at this point, I feel like they're not going through enough training to have weapons.
Correct. I absolutely agree with you, honestly, and what kind of bothers me the most is like piggybacking off of what Hugh just said. It's just about how the police and supposedly our justice system use their weapons. If they're using their weapons in a negative manner, how does that display look like on America and just globally? We just went through protests and after protest after protest, especially with the biggest protest ever within George Floyd, and the world knowing how bad guns are and what they can do and what the effect they can have. I feel that it's a pro and a con to it. And just like he was saying, that it needs to be more rules and regulations and training behind the weapon. And I feel like if you have the certification to bear arms, you need to go through certain proper training, just like in driving license, to actually show that you know how to properly use the gun. Like, and I feel like he said, it's very important in a positive way of bearing arms. It's important that we protect ourselves. You see the color of our skin. We are Black Americans in America. Let's call a spade, and we don't know what's going to happen to us. You know, you just never know in general every day through life. But just like all these,
and
some of
us live in areas where it's
exactly.
like having a gun would save your life.
Exactly. Like you have these Fidel Castro, you know, just all these type of situations. I'm not saying, you know, just because of police brutality and things of that nature. It's just the fact of the matter is we are being hunted right now. And let's call a spade a spade. We are being hunted, and it's very sad that it's 2020 and that we still have to go through this. I don't want my child to have to go through this, so I feel like it is very important. I say this all the time, for us to bridge the gap now, or history is only going to repeat itself. His parents have been going through this, and so same here. It's time to really change the narrative of things. And also with the gun topic, real quick, I wanted to ask you a question because my boy posed a good question, but I was kind of bothered by it. I'm be honest with you, because he was saying that just in the right of just in the talk of bearing arms, especially down south. So say if you have you have rights to bear arms, you have your own weapon. Mm-hmm. And he said if somebody breaks in your house, he was just saying like, is it right for you to kill this person? He's basically saying, do you have do you have the, not authority, do you have that green light to kill this person? And I was saying to him that absolutely. And I understand that a weapon may carry, some negative things to it, but like we was just saying, you have to have a certain training, to have a certain mindset of when to use the weapon and how to use the weapon. And I feel like if somebody breaks and enters in your home, I feel like it's me personally, and I know you're a Christian, but me personally, I don't believe in thou shalt not kill in general, but at the end of the day, like, I have my son. Somebody comes in here, guns blazing, and I so happily have a weapon.
Your first instinct is just to protect your little
exactly, but not even that, and protect myself and protect the house and whoever's in it.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to, just see your views on it, and what do you think about that? Because he was saying that sometimes the situation may not go that way.
Yeah, it's tricky. Like
it's
tricky. The same way we say things like police officers didn't have to shoot that person, they could have did this, did that. I feel like there are instances where somebody breaks into your home. If you get the drop on them and they ain't got no weapon, they're just trying to steal something. You don't have to fire off on that person.
Correct.
The gun in your hand should be enough. Now, if that person has a weapon,
right? Then
again, like, you don't know what they about to do.
Mm-hmm.
Your mind might go somewhere else. They have a weapon. I gotta shoot this now.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like there are instances where people break into your home and all they have is just, they don't got nothing on them. They're just trying to steal something. They're not trying to be violent. It's not necessary to blow that person's brains out. And there's so many, you get so many reports of, kids coming to their own home late at night, opening the door, and their father blew them away. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, you gotta have the wherewithal, because there's a lot of parents that's just taking their own kids out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we shouldn't be so quick to just shoot somebody. The same way the police are trigger happy.
Correct.
Even if you're in your own home, don't be so trigger happy, because you don't know if that's your child coming through the door. You don't know, it could be just some 15-year-old kid doing something dumb, trying to steal something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Don't blow his head off. Especially if he ain't got no weapon on him. Don't blow his head off. That gun in your hand alone, should be enough. It's just gonna get him to leave and probably never do that again.
Mm-hmm.
No, but you just don't. The thing about killing, man, it ain't easy to kill somebody, man. Whether you do it on accident, on purpose, that's got to be something that's like, instilled in you. There's a certain type of mentality that comes with that, and it leaves behind some things. So you don't even if you feel like you're justified in that moment, that person broke into my house.
Right.
Them nightmares you're gonna have ain't gonna feel that way.
Absolutely.
You're gonna have to go through some things to get that out. You know what I'm saying? To try to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tricky, man.
I'm definitely glad you put it that way. You actually made me understand it more. Not saying that my friend was understanding, but we were just saying criteria-wise. But you actually make sense when you put it in that terms, in that way, because my instant way of thinking, if you didn't say that, like, honestly, my instant way of thinking is just like, react and protect. But like you said, it can be a 15-year-old. You don't know who can. It can be somebody not even trying to harm you. I understand that point.
It could be somebody down on their luck and they just feel like this is their way. They hungry. They need food. They gotta. Cause there's situations like that. People feel like they gotta steal. Cause they don't, and maybe they stealing for their family. They gotta get something to eat. Maybe they feel like they gotta get in your crib to get it, or you got some money so they can get something. So the situations like that. So yeah, you just gotta. I'm not saying it's kind of like people say about football players can easily not hit with their helmet. In that moment when you're trying to tackle a guy, you may not think like that.
Exactly.
So I get it. There are instances where you may not be able to think like that, but there are some instances that are. So you can't just you don't want to be trigger happy.
Hey man, you heard it from you, man. He spoke some knowledge on that topic, definitely. Hey man, so moving on to the next topic, man. We're gonna really get into this one. So.
Y'all been watching me on here. Y'all know I love to talk rap. You always call me when we talk rap.
My brother, I'm about to say it. Me and my brother always.
We love to talk rap.
We love to talk rap. We love to talk entertainment, but especially rap because we really are embedded in that. That's like how that's like our connection as friends too. We're friends regardless, but like our social connection when we're having conversation, man, it gets intense. So, which artist master auto-tune and who did it best? Before he goes, we was talking about, I'm gonna let him continue though, but we were talking about auto-tune and who really, revamped it and really honestly created it, in a way. Definitely, first and foremost, before we even say anything, and he's right about, is give credit to T-Pain. He needs his flowers now, because a lot of people don't give him credit. He was right when he was saying it the other day when we had a conversation, because T-Pain gets overlooked a lot. But definitely shout out to T-Pain, because if it wasn't for T-Pain, a lot of doors wouldn't be open today for a lot of artists.
A lot of people that wouldn't have hit
records. Definitely want to say that first.
Got some plaques on their wall, man, without a pistol.
So first, before I let him go, I'm gonna give him my top 5, and he gonna give me his 5, and then we're gonna both decipher our list. So my 5 of who is the best in auto-tune and who really mastered it. So my first, he already knows who my first gonna be is Wayne, of course. Second, I would say T-Pain, even though that he mastered, that's kind of what our discussion was, he mastered and he actually created T-Pain. Future, for me, third, it's tough. It's between Future and Thug, because their sounds is really the sound of today, and that's off of T-Pain and Wayne, of course, but their sound is the sound of the day, and I feel like they really mastered it and really did a good job. So I say Future and Thug for 3 and 4. And lastly, he's not gonna like, because he feels like, I'm gonna let him say his, but my last one is definitely Migos. And Migos can come before it, but Migos can come before Future and Thug, possibly. But that's my 5. I'm gonna let him tell you and go about his.
I gotta go Pain number 1, because Pain for me is kind of like, when you think about, like for me, Eddie Murphy is the greatest comedian, because Eddie Murphy, not only was he funny and did he break records, you think about how comedy is today. Eddie Murphy was the first person to do like comedians or movie stars.
The groundwork.
Eddie Murphy was the first comedian movie star.
Nah, that wasn't the first.
Who?
Eddie learned from somebody that you missing. But it's not. I can honestly understand what you're saying, because it's not in our era.
That's
Richard Pryor. I would say Richard Pryor.
I don't know. I feel like it was Eddie.
He set the mold for
He did, but Eddie also, like a lot of people wouldn't be famous without Eddie. Like, Eddie gave Samuel L. Jackson his first part, Chris Rock, Keenan Ivory. So it's like that's for me. Like I'm using him as an example for T-Pain. T-Pain was the person. He didn't invent the autotune, kind of like Richard Pryor. He didn't invent the autotune, but he revolutionized it. It was like hey, here's this thing nobody's using. Instead of rapping, I can sing now. And it was like he's a cultural icon, because he changed the culture. He changed the way we make music. And so because of Pain, all this music has been made because of him. He even taught certain artists how to use it. And because of that, we have certain songs like Lollipop. He taught Wayne how to use it, and he helped him make that song. That's that's one of the greatest rap songs. We love that song. It's an amazing song. And so you think about 808s and Heartbreaks, an amazing album. He sat in the studio and he taught Kanye how to use it, how to make it. So when I think of who's the best, I give Pain the credit because of the overall effect that he had of what he did with it. Number 2, I got Travis. I say Travis because Travis uses it. I know he don't like it. Travis uses it in different ways that you don't normally see. He changed he has multiple songs where it sounds like there's 4 different people on it. Like you might have a better singing voice than him, clearly, easily. But there are parts of the songs where he'll turn the vocals up high, he'll turn them low. His background vocals he'll fade them out a little bit. So he's doing different things with the auto-tune. So like it's kind of like I compare it to like if basketball was scoring. Like Giannis averaged more points than James Harden this year, right? But who's a better scorer? James Harden. Why? Because he can do more things. He can dribble. He can give you the mid range. He can lay the ball. He can shoot the 3. So that's what I mean. It's like like there's other artists that may have a better singing voice than Travis easily, but Travis he's the way he's unlocked this thing. It's like he's got like a sixth sense. He knows when to turn it up, turn it off, turn it down. He knows different ranges to use on it. Like he doesn't sound the same throughout the whole song. There's a lot of songs where he'll sound completely different through the whole track. Third, I gotta go Wayne. Then when Wayne learned how to use that thing.
Don't explain yet. Don't explain. Go 3, 4, 5. I'm arguing with this Travis first.
Third, I got Wayne. Fourth, I don't know. I think I'll probably go Future. And fifth, I think I would go Thug. I think I'm gonna go Thug with fifth. I asked somebody else, but I don't think they've done more with the auto-tune than those 2 guys.
So this was the basis of the argument and the discussion before. And that's why I said, like, just go through them first, because I wanted to actually get back to it. And I'm going to tell the reason why I feel like that Travis has this not one any of that. And I like Travis, because what he said is not that it's not valid. It's, everything he said is mostly valid. But to the point where he was saying about, like, he does it differently than them, like talking about, like, you know, he has aspects where he can tone it down, tone it up, and singing voice and stuff. I don't feel like, and first and foremost, Wayne, man, and this is the reason why I love Wayne. This is my GOAT regardless. It's been for a long time. Just my favorite rapper ever as soon as I seen him. And he's so impactful because everybody that we just named, other than T-Pain, and also T-Pain in a way a little bit because it's rapping. T-Pain, you know, even though he can rap too, people don't know that. The thing about Wayne, he set the landscape for everybody. And his type of auto-tune, his type of sound, set the mold for a Travis Scott. And it goes in tiers. And I'm not trying to say that to say, oh yeah, who's better and who's not. But I feel like if it wasn't for them and the evolution of their sound, Travis Scott wouldn't have mastered it in that way. Because before even Travis Scott, it was Uzi. Before, you know, and I'm not just naming some, but let's go down the list. You have Dwayne.
I think they came out around the same time.
Future, yeah, they did. They did actually. You have Dwayne. You have Future. You have Thug. Like, we can go down the list, but those 3 right there, Wayne has embodied. Wayne is the reason for. I'm not saying for all of their success, but he has a big part of do with Future's success and Thug's. Their bodies of work. And when we're talking about understanding songs and sicko mode and everything in Astro World was amazing. Their bodies of work, it doesn't even compare. Travis Scott doesn't even compare with their bodies of work. I'm talking about in the auto-tune space. Such as Future having Hendrix. Such as Wayne having a Sorry for the Wait. Such as Thug having Barter 6. And those type of sounds and putting it in a rap format. What Travis Scott did that's good, and I will give him credit, is the fact that he mastered kind of both of them. Like in a sense of R&B and also rap. Thug and Future do it too, but they do it more on the rap side. Future's best album, sonically, to me, is definitely Future's Hendrix. I feel like it's bar none his best work sonically because of the auto-tune and how he used it in the different songs and how he blended rap with the auto-tune. And who I feel like that doesn't get enough credit in the auto-tune that he didn't even name is so surprising is the Migos. Migos, their whole sound, everything they do, they're one of the most innovative groups. I'm just being in general, they might be one of the most influential groups we've seen in rap. Other than Other than who you want to name? Because you got Andre 3000, you got Outkast.
Oh, like
course.
groups?
But I'm saying
the
that
groups and Migos. I
yeah.
feel like the Migos is
but they're
untouched
there
as far as like rap groups.
And I'm telling him to say, and when we was in high school, 2014, before Travis really got traction, we were listening to songs we were outside with, like songs that were really hitting. Like you had Bando, you had Freak No More, you go back to.
This was back when I was
Young
like
Rich
mumble
Niggas
rap
1,
band.
the first one. Like we were outside for that, and Migos created their own lane, their own sound themselves too within the auto tune. Cause that's why I feel like they're up there as well too.
I feel that,
and I understand his point. It's not like but I felt like it was blasphemy solely of the fact that you got the greatest rapper to ever rap. If it not for to me, if it wasn't for him, I don't feel like it would ever have gotten to this level.
there was a point in time where like if you had Wayne Auto on the hook, it was a hit. It was a smash.
Because T-Pain, he did what he did, but he had his lane. Wayne brought it kind of worldwide because he
was a bigger artist.
He was a bigger artist,
so
definitely at the time, and
so when
also
he did it, it was like
and also he was doing other things like my other boy pointed out, Prom Queen, like those type of songs, The Rebirth, the whole album, those type of songs, he had reached another genre doing it. So with that being said, I feel like Wayne, bar none, is the best one to do it and master it.
Sometimes it's your voice. Cause that's how the auto-tune works. You can sing.
That's true too.
Sometimes that's just the effect. Sometimes like a lot of people, it's just your voice. And so when you add something like that's like the person I was gonna name, but I didn't want to name because I don't feel like they've done enough in the auto-tune space was Chris Brown. Because even Payne has said Chris is one of the best people he's from the auto-tune. Because my thing was like, Chris already has an amazing voice.
Yeah, that's
so when he hits the auto-tune, it's like it's out of here.
Right.
You look at songs like Kiss Kiss or Forever. It's like. So that's that's probably like my honorable mentions. Like I don't think he's done enough in the auto-tune space as the other people.
Right.
That's why they named him. But when you really think about it, it's like
he can be
in that conversation because like his voice is already amazing. And you add auto-tune, it's like look at the hits he's made.
To your point, and the album that me and him like, I feel like a lot of people caught on late to is the Chris Brown Young Thug album. Like that album is fire. When I'm telling you, like that album is fire. I listen to that.
They had that top 10 record. Like they went to the top 10 with that
but
like, crazy.
Like you said the other day, that's not even the best song on the album.
No, not
like
to me.
She bumped her head.
She bumped the head crank.
Like,
Stolen is my
favorite song in there too.
I'll bump that joint 5 times
forever.
Straight.
Like that, they sonically sound good. And to Hugh, what he was saying about the auto tune, that's probably the reasons why. Because I know
we gotta come back over here and do that segment on collab albums one day.
That's a good. Actually, that's a very, very good topic. So we definitely gonna get into that. So on to the last one. Would you rather? And this is a very good one. So on a first date, hear me out. Would you rather find out your date hates something that you really, really like or love, like just like something that you really passionate about, and they just don't mess with it, you just don't know how to react to it, or find out, or they tell you they cheated in their last relationship? Which one would you rather?
Am I going first?
Being in that, yeah, you gonna go first.
I think I'm gonna go with the first one. That thing like hate like it would definitely rub me the wrong way if Shorty didn't like anime because I love anime, but I can live with that. Everybody's TV show preference is different. Mm-hmm. Now if they said they didn't like rap,
right? They can say anything. If they said they
didn't like rap, I don't know, man. I love rap so much. Now if they said they didn't like Jesus, that's just out the question. We're not even dating anymore. But for me, I think I'm gonna go with that one because on the Jesus side, I know this ain't that type of podcast, but this is my way of thinking. Christ is always in the business of restoration. Mm-hmm. Shameless plug real quick. If you haven't heard Restoration by Lecrae, please go hear that. Nominated for Album of the Year on Grammys. Great album. But yeah, Christ is in the business of restoration. No matter what you've been through, mm-hmm. You can be through Christ, you can be restored. I don't care if you've got 5 murders and 3 rapes. The blood of Christ, you can be restored. So Christ's whole thing is about forgiving us for what we've done. And so you know, I always want to extend that same type of forgiveness and grace that Christ extends to me, to that person. You know, I don't want to judge them off of what they've done in their past, because they might be completely different now. Because I know as fellas, we hate that. We hate when women treat us like how they last dude did them.
Absolutely.
So the last thing I would want to do is, you know, I ain't gonna lie, if I heard that, it would worry me.
Off, yes.
I would definitely.
But you don't want to be too judgmental.
Yeah, I would throw that in the chat and let Deshaun say some wild stuff to me real quick, just to make me laugh and get me to think about it. But
absolutely.
I think I would rather. I don't want to be that type of person to judge somebody like that. You know, I want to extend grace. I could be wrong, but I do want to extend grace. So I think I'm gonna go with the
something that you had.
Yeah. So you said what would I rather hear, or was that?
No, which one did you rather? You chose the right.
Oh
one.
yeah,
you chose the one that you.
Oh yeah, I would rather hear the I treat it like a relationship thing. I don't think I would handle it if somebody said they didn't like rap, or I mean I could, but it'd be different.
Oh, so you're choosing. You would rather.
I would rather them tell me that than tell me something like they don't like Jesus, or they don't like. They don't like sneakers or rap music. It's like that's all I'm gonna play in the car.
I'm definitely on the same page as you, because in reality, like if somebody hates or dislikes something that you're really passionate about, how can you really move forward from that? And especially in that being on the first date, you know what I'm saying? It's not like that y'all are already embedded in it, and then she's like, oh yeah, well you know I don't like that. Oh well, that's different, because that's where compromise comes. But before y'all even do anything, I feel like that's kind of it's not like so crazy, but it's like one of those things. It's just like that's like a partner telling me, or a female telling me on the first date. Well, or if I'm telling them that I don't like makeup. I don't like makeup. I don't like weave. Then what? Yeah, that's a problem. So, and I do like that. By disclosure, I do like that. I'm just saying,
for women, that's gonna
scenario.
Be a problem,
you know what I'm saying? So that's like us being told, you know, that you don't like rap, you don't like this, and things that we, you know, like or love. That's gonna throw you off, because what you're looking for on the first date is not only, you know, conversation. There's things that you have in common.
Yeah.
So I
not to say that opposites don't attract, but
right. So
sometimes there's just some things just like you just can't budge on.
And I also, on the other flip side of things, I would also respect the person I'm on a date with to actually tell me that if they did something, you know, cheated in the past or something like that, so I can actually delve in on why, when, why, how, you know what I'm saying? So you can really delve in, and that creates another conversation about the past and things that you can learn from. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not always, a negative connotation behind just being truthful. So, definitely with that one. Man, this has been an amazing episode. My brother Hugh came through, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Grateful, man. Hey, so make sure that you go shop, man. Game Shift, man. It's going crazy. It is going crazy. And he's continuing to elevate. Man, I'm just really just proud of my brothers and all of them. We're just going to continue to elevate in the creative space. And we're going to, sky's the limit. So hopefully down the line when you see both of us on the camera, man, our names are submitted. We're not trying to be famous. We're searching for wealth. But opportunities come and we're going to take them all.
Make sure y'all tune into this podcast, man. It's one of my favorite podcasts, man.
Already, man.
And definitely go get you some color power, no doubt. New collection coming soon. Definitely go support that. You like bracelets, necklaces, he got one on right now.
Already.
This is it right here.
Definitely, man. So much love to y'all, man. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure y'all smash that subscribe button and tell a friend to tell a friend. This is the Faison podcast. 1.